That's right. I'm glad we're beginning.
I've got 10. We've got people still coming in, both here at Hoover Tactical and on Zoom. So we're going to hold kicking off just a couple of minutes, and I'm going to get a cup of coffee. And Dave Burford, thank you, sir. You brought donuts. Okay, I'll get a cup of coffee in a minute. You people on Zoom, you're missing an opportunity because, as everybody knows, I shill for all of our partners, whether it's hawking non-raffle raffle tickets or military hat caps or galas or whatever. But see, y'all on Zoom don't have the opportunity to buy a military cap, Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines. We don't have space cadets yet. Or buy tickets to our non-raffle raffle. But you'll be seeing something about that in a future newsletter. I'm shameless. We are having technical glitches with the URL. Some people didn't have a problem, others are, and I'm getting another call, so excuse me. We'll get started momentarily. Hello. Okay, good morning. Welcome, everyone. We've got a few here in-house at Hoover Tactical. We have how many are on here? 521, it looks like, including myself on Zoom. Thank you for joining in. Maybe some others will connect with us momentarily. Let's get started, and we'll just reserve comments for later, but Sharon, are our instructors on?
I'm here.
Yes,
Okay.
sir. Mr. Rowe is here.
I see Mr. Rowe. So Sharon, we're going to have a presentation first by two instructors at Lawson State in the auto paint and repair training area. Sharon, if you would introduce them, and then gentlemen, y'all take it from there. You got about 8 or 9 minutes. Thank you.
Good morning. Mr. Rowe, is Mr. Gadsden going to present with you?
Mr. Gaston had to attend a funeral this morning, so it's just gonna be myself.
Okay, so everybody, we do have the auto body and repair program here at Lawson State. Mr. Rowe, who is also a veteran, has asked to join us for this meeting to give you information regarding that program. And as a reminder, we want to remind you that we do have our career fair and resource fair on next week on the 16th from 9 to 12. And thank you to those of you who registered to attend that. Mr. Rowe?
All right, thank you so much. Hello, everyone. How y'all doing? Can everyone hear me okay?
We can hear you.
We're doing good.
Great, great. All right. Well, my name is Daryl Rowe. I'm one of the instructors here at Lawson State, and I really appreciate this opportunity to speak with you guys about our program. This is the auto collision repair program here at Lawson State. And what we try to do is prepare our students to learn enough to get into the workforce, to work in the collision repair industries, and also to show them that they can get out and make their own money, open their own shops and things of that nature. So our degree plan consists of business administration classes as well. So just to make it kind of brief, we offer 3 different degree programs. One is our short certificate. It takes about 2 semesters to complete the short certificate. It covers the basic requirements needed by most shops in the auto collision industry, from painting to surface preparation to auto glass and trim, just the basic auto collision needs. Once the student completes those 7 classes, once they complete those 7 ABR classes, they'll be well on their way to being an asset to a collision shop. Then we also offer our long certificate, which covers a total of 13 ABR classes. And the additional 6 classes are specialized training areas such as steering and suspension, frame and structural repair analysis and repair, auto cut and weld, being able to remove structural panels off of a damaged car and replacing it. Steering and suspension, a lot of times when the car is in a collision, sometimes the suspension gets damaged. So we want our guys to know how to replace a whole knee assembly, which consists of the strut assembly, the lower control arm, and the knuckle. We also talk about mechanical components, because some mechanical components become damaged as a result of a collision. So we want our guys to be abreast in that as well. And also we have an additional class on automotive electrical components. Y'all hear the news and everything. We talk about electric cars becoming more and more prevalent. So we want our guys to know that the more you get into the electrical aspect of the vehicle, is like a hidden treasure, because somebody got to work on these cars. So with electric cars and a hybrid vehicle, they got to have specialized training. You got to be safe and to make sure you don't electrocute yourself while working on one of these cars, because they can be very, very dangerous with all that high voltage. Also with that, we also offer an auto body degree, 2-year degree program, which you get a associate's degree in auto body, which is called an AIN, Associates in Industrial Maintenance. So you can take all 13 auto body classes. You'll take some related classes such as Art 100, Western Civilization 1 or 2, World History 1 or 2, 2 credit hours of PE, English 101, Math 100, CIS 146, Speech 107, and along with either 12 credit hours in business administration for those who may want to know what it takes to manage a business. Also, either industrial maintenance, which will be helpful in getting employment at one of our automotive plants, such as Mercedes and Honda. And also, we partnership with Scotch, the 3M company. And they have a program designed for veterans. I don't know if you guys can see this. It's a 3M Donate Signature event with Chip Foose to support military veterans and collision school programs. And we had a student about 3-4 years ago that was a veteran. And he signed up for the scholarship, and he won it. So he won about $5,000 in tools from the Collision Repair Foundation that sponsors this program. So there's a lot of stuff out there to help veterans, along with us trying to help them learn a skill that they can always use for years to come. And that's basically all I got to say. If anybody got any questions.
Hey, Daryl, this is Kathleen from Samson Strength. I don't have a question, but I'm excited about this because I think this is going to be a great opportunity. I mean, also wondering, do you do anything with farm equipment? Because, that's a big, huge thing here in Alabama, and maybe it's something to look at to expand too, because it's always difficult to find people that can work on farm equipment.
Okay, yes, ma'am. As far as farm equipment tractors that may have damaged to fenders, need to be repainted. It's pretty much the same concept as doing auto body repair. So once you learn auto body repair, you can work on farm equipment for us refurbished them.
That's good because Dave bumps into a lot of things. So we definitely should be thinking about that.
I hear you,
So
Dave.
let me just say, I'm not sure if Mr. Rowe mentioned it, but we do have the Career Tech Scholarship that literally pays the 100% of tuition and fees for students in that auto body program. That's considered a career tech program. And the scholarship, if you have high school students that are interested in it, they can apply now, and it's on our website. The deadline is April 15th. And if you have somebody that's currently here, then they will pay. The difference is the high school students will pay for 2 years, and for currently enrolled students, because they already should have completed 15 credit hours before they apply, we will pay for 1 year of tuition and fees for those students. So that's in addition to any military benefits that they are already eligible for, unless it's the post 9/11. And I can say that I've had my vehicle more than multiples painted by our auto body department, and they do a great job. Even if you have this specialized paint, it may take a little bit longer for them to get that paint in, but they do it, and they do a wonderful job in that.
Do they have a section for carbon fiber? Because I know that's a huge thing like right now. Are they carbon fiber certified and that kind of stuff? Because if they are, I can always send some cars that I have right now with my husband.
Well, carbon fiber is not a part of our student learning outcomes. It's not on our syllabus, but we're looking to expand it, especially if the demand becomes more in demand. But we basically have to go by what's on our student learning outcomes on our syllabus. And at this moment, carbon fiber repair is not on it. But we do try to dabble into and showing our students that what's available out there, because the industry is always changing with all this technology. So whenever new technology for its repair comes out, we want to make sure we bring that information to our students and let them know that it is available.
All right. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
Mr. Rowe, did you say what branch of the military you served in?
U.S. Navy. I was aboard the USS Dwight D. Eisenhower.
Yep, Shannon's like that. Well, we thank you for your service. And does anybody else have any further questions? If so, if you want to put it in the chat box, if you think about it later, then Tanita or I will pull those and send those to Mr. Rowe with your contact information should you have them.
Okay. Well, if I may say, I really enjoyed talking to you guys. I appreciate you giving me an opportunity to let you know about our program. I got a class going on. I just want to take a few minutes to leave class, come over and, holler at y'all. So I really appreciate it. Look forward to talking to y'all real soon.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Bye, y'all.
All right. Have a great day.
All right. Bye-bye.
Brian?
You're muted, Brian.
Yeah, I know. One of my other glitches this morning. Thank you, Sharon. Thank you, Mr. Rowe, and thank you for your service. Next on our agenda is our new Birmingham VA Healthcare System Public Affairs Officer. And Shannon Arledge is going to introduce himself and then give us some comments about goings on with the VA and Birmingham in particular. And he and I are still trying to work with Dr. Kakoya to get him on here in one month in the near future. Shannon, tell us about yourself and then the VA, sir. Thank you.
Hey, thanks, Brian. Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Grateful to be here and part of your agenda today. Look forward to knowing more about each each of you and, eventually, shaking those hands. But it's great to be here. And I look forward to, continuing on and sharing information about what happens here at the Birmingham VA. I was fortunate enough at the beginning of January to arrive here and take over from the legendary Jeff Hester. And I think I am not hearing the phrase "you're the new Jeff" as much anymore, but it's still in the hallways, and so I don't think that's going to go away anytime soon. But anyway, I am Shannon Arledge, and the new public affairs officer here at the Birmingham VA. I've been with the VA for over 7 years now, and honestly, I can't see myself working for another agency. I was in the Marine Corps, served for a little bit, and when I left the Marines, I wanted to be VA. I just wasn't able to make it happen. But after the Marines, I was able to make Alabama happen. Once upon a time, I was the public affairs specialist at the CDP in Anniston, and I worked there for almost 8 years before getting a chance to join the VA in 2015. But joining the VA meant I had to leave Alabama at that time, and I went to Shreveport, Louisiana, working for the Shreveport VA. Great bunch of people there too. They do a lot of good things for veterans in Northwest Alabama, East Texas, and Southwest Arkansas there in Shreveport. But needless, I am happy to be back and stoked to be back in Alabama, especially here at the Birmingham VA. Everyone here has been super helpful, pointing me in the right direction. And I hope all of you will also get me up to speed over time with what's going on and how I can be better at my job. I think it's smart for us to collaborate together. As a Marine, I fully understand how important the VA is to us veterans. I retired as a gunnery sergeant in 2007. I was a public affairs chief in the Marine Corps. And that 20 years I spent serving wearing a Marine uniform is what I hold dearest to my heart. It's one of my biggest achievements. But as a VA employee, I hope I can make a difference in the lives of veterans by sharing our stories, celebrating the accomplishments of veterans, and recognizing the quality healthcare VA offers, especially here at the Birmingham VA. In 2015, when I came to the Veterans Health Administration, the stories were scary, and and you still hear about those bad experiences that our patients have. I myself am a patient with the VA, and I am where I work, and so I
Anya?
definitely like to make a point of holding people accountable, as a patient, if I'm not receiving the care that I think that I should receive, and if I'm not getting the care I should receive, I know other veterans aren't either. But with that said, I've had great experiences at the VA, and I hope all of you have as well. A large focus of mine is customer service and patient experience. I like to set an example, and I hope other employees here see the example I set and repeat it. I've noticed our employees, go out of their way around here, and it's really cool because I've been some places where there's some rude employees, and but I'll see employees here when an elevator opens, they aren't necessarily getting off on that floor, but they see a veteran waiting to get on that elevator, and there's too many people on it. They'll step off so that guy or gal can get on, and that's pretty neat to see. And I'm not kidding. I've seen that several times since I've been here. So they're actually setting an example for me. So I'll get off if I have to. The patient advocates here are worth noting, and every veteran, should have a great experience, an outstanding experience, and if something does go wrong, we need to know about it, and we need to fix it. I got a few things that are very important to me, and as well as big VA altogether, and suicide prevention is top priority. Just recently, I was able to join the Alabama Department of Veteran Affairs. identifying and finding strategies to help at-risk veterans. They're partnering with the governor's Alabama Challenge, and that's a great example. In recognizing suicide, is something that we all need to do, and I know we are doing it, but I hope that I can add to that discussion as well. Suicide and homelessness are just two important areas that we in the VA, need to play a role in helping and providing better resources for those who are struggling. Speaking of mental health, one particular large event that's happened since I came on board was the opening of the Birmingham East Clinic. And when the Birmingham East Clinic opened up in January, that actually took all of the mental health outpatient services from the main facility here in downtown Birmingham and moved all of those outpatient mental health services to the Birmingham East Clinic, which is a beautiful, beautiful structure. It's like, I got some notes here, 64,000 square feet. And some of you probably driven by, you see it from I-20, but it's a beautiful building. You guys can help out in some ways too, because there are still some veterans who are in the habit of coming here to the main facility for those particular appointments. The doctors, the support staff for the mental health team has done everything they can, or is trying to do everything they can to get the word out about the move, because there's always somebody who doesn't get the word. And then there's always us who are in the habit of doing something for a certain period of time. You may come here to the main facility to find out your appointments over there in Irondale. And haven't heard any stories of that happening, but they darn sure could. So we definitely want to make sure veterans who are, coming for mental health outpatient appointments to know that those appointments are going on over 7901 Crestwood Boulevard in Irondale. And that's something that, if there's any notes or any messages that you share, Brian, with the veteran population, I could probably get you some kind of graphic to add into your newsletter about that move of mental health services to the Birmingham East Clinic. I think it may be a help, but there have been a lot of patient letters going out. We have had some things on social media trying to make sure the veterans know about that move. Women veterans, that's something that I really like to follow and make sure that that population of veterans, are receiving the attention that they deserve. I found out that there's like 9,000 women veterans enrolled here, and and if you're a woman veteran, you also do know that it's the largest growing population of veterans in the VA, and so it's super cool to see women not just serving in uniform, but then they're getting out and they're coming to the VA, because I guess it just there at times it just wasn't a place the women veterans wanted to be, and so it's nice to see women veterans feeling a lot more comfortable coming to the VA and having health care that's specifically tailored, to the woman. So I work with our women veterans program as much as I can. Again, I'm new here, so I'm still getting in touch with that group, but I have worked with the women's veteran program a lot over the years and understand that priority. And I just get it. When I got out of the Marines, I married a Marine, and so it's something. And I have two daughters too. And although neither one of those are in uniform, they have a lot of respect for their mom, and so that population's important. It just is. I could really talk about a lot of things that are important to me as a veteran all day long, because as soon as we get off this call, I'll think of something else that I wish I would have said to the group here today. But I do love what I do. I love where I work. I am where I work. I'm proud to be a patient at the VA, and I'm extremely proud to be back in Alabama. And holy smokes, man, I'm a public affairs officer at the Birmingham VA Medical Center. So very, very proud of that. And I look forward to meeting you all. Brian was in a meeting yesterday, and we had about, I don't know, about 25 others who joined that meeting. And, you know, it was predominantly veteran service officers, and some of the others here in this meeting today may have been on that particular meeting, but it was a briefing that Dr. Kukoi, the medical center director here, provided veteran service organizations about the asset infrastructure review. And some of you probably remember, you probably did see messaging last year. I know in Shreveport, you know, we were announcing it really heavy, and they were calling it the market assessment. And there were going to be listening sessions. And some of you may have participated here in Birmingham or somewhere here across the state of Alabama in one of the medical center's listening sessions. Well, those listening sessions resulted in recommendations made by the VA to the Asset Infrastructure Review Commission, the AIR Commission. And it's actually it's a big deal. Because you know, it is what it is. It's an asset and infrastructure review. And just, you know, to put it in a little bit more perspective, you know, the Birmingham VA here is almost 70 years old. This medical center is going to have you know, its 70th anniversary, you know, here soon, and that's old. I mean, for a structure. And, you know, and especially when you have healthcare that's evolving over time, and then you got to retrofit more or less, you know, different areas, renovate areas, you know, to stay, you know, to stay connected with the changes in modern healthcare. It can be difficult when you're talking about, you know, 70-year-old infrastructure. Because, you know, the way they built buildings then is different from the way buildings are built now. You may not be able to just take down a wall and then, you know, and replace with something else. There's just a lot of different things that's way out of my lane. But long and short, the Birmingham VA is 70 years old, and our medical center, along with nearly 140 other medical centers, you know, have been part of this asset infrastructure review for the past more than a year, which is all a result of the VA Mission Act.
Shannon, we're going to need to move along. Shannon's going to provide more info on the AIR program and info about information that'll be available in the Federal Register soon as next week. Maybe, Shannon?
Okay, yeah, the results of the asset infrastructure review are going to be placed into the Federal Register on Monday, on the 14th. And then from that point on, that's going to be about a year, and the President and Congress can either accept or not accept the recommendations made in the review. There were several big suggestions or recommendations that affect the Birmingham VA. Sorry.
Okay. There's a mountain of info in that program. Thank you for your comments, for your observations, for your service, both with the Corps and with the VA. Cliff Cook, Associate Director of Recreation and Athletics. I hope you're on.
I am.
Okay, here we go. Okay, Cliff's going to tell us about the services available at Lakeshore for disabled veterans. Cliff, you've got the floor, sir.
Thank you. And Tish, I believe I had a PowerPoint. Are you able to share that?
Yes, I
Tish?
am.
Wonderful. So while that's being pulled up, I'll introduce myself. Brian, thank you for the floor. I'm Cliff Cook. I am an Associate Director at Lakeshore Foundation. I've been at Lakeshore for 13 years. I came to Lakeshore right out of college and fell in love with adapted sport, and have truly enjoyed the opportunity to work at Lakeshore, and making a career out of it. So who are we? We are an organization that provides programs and services for people with physical disabilities and chronic health conditions. And stepping back, a global perspective of Lakeshore is we are an organization that looks to that we have a vision that every person in the world will have the opportunity to achieve a healthy and active and independent lifestyle. So getting more focused, our mission is to encourage and provide opportunities for people with disability to live a healthy lifestyle through activity, research, advocacy, and health promotion. And so what that means is we have a physical location in Homewood, Alabama, and we act as a few different things. One is we are essentially a YMCA for people with physical disability and chronic health conditions. They can come and work out at Lakeshore. We have pools that they can get in and do aquatics activities. We have athletic teams that they can come and be a part of, like wheelchair basketball or wheelchair rugby. We have a new wheelchair football team that we are offering. And then another component of that is, Tish, if you want to go to the next slide for me. So I was mentioning the activity side of things. We have a research wing to where we have acknowledged that research on people with disabilities is oftentimes lacking in the research community. You can oftentimes find information on what standards are for like a healthy or a person without a disability. But if you were trying to find what are healthy standards for people with disability, that information is also often not out there. And so Lakeshore has taken it upon himself to research and collect data on people with disability to be able to provide that information. So our research center will work with members and non-members to collect information. We are the home of the USA wheelchair rugby team. And so we collect information on them and see we define what it means to be an elite athlete with a disability. A lot of neat things are happening out of our research department. And then on another component is advocacy. We recognize that the conversation doesn't just stop within the walls of Lakeshore. We need to reach out into the community and see how we can work with other organizations and see if we can get legislation changed that provides a more inclusive environment for all people. So that's globally what we offer here at Lakeshore. And if you want to go to our next slide, I want to get more into the specifics of like what this means for this group. And the first thing to understand is that we are not a public organization. We're a private organization that has a membership system. And there is what we identify as qualifying conditions. And so in order to become a member of Lakeshore, you must qualify, or you must have one of these qualifying conditions. And that is so that we have a very focused group of people that we work with. And we've been able to specialize with that population and provide top-notch programming for this particular population. We recognize that there's other disabilities out there, such as cognitive disability. We're just not equipped to work with people with cognitive disability. That's not our focus. Our focus is physical disability and chronic health conditions. And so these disabilities are and conditions are listed on our website. If there's question about whether or not you would qualify for Lakeshore Foundation. But if you do, there's plenty of services and opportunities that we have available. If you would like to go to the next slide. So getting down into like, that's the global thing. Anybody with disability, anybody with physical disability or chronic health conditions that were listed can apply for membership. We have a veterans program that is, if you qualify for this program, it's a free membership to Lakeshore Foundation. And so essentially what it breaks down to is if you have a service-connected injury resulting in a physical disability, then you qualify for this free membership at Lakeshore. There's a few things that we ask. We ask that members that qualify for this would come and participate or attend Lakeshore at least 4 times a month in order to keep their membership active. But what we are looking to do right now, and the reason I'm on this call, is we are looking to expand our reach and get the message out there that there's this opportunity for free membership at Lakeshore, to where if you want to, if you have a physical disability and you're not sure how to be active, and you want to get more active, you want to work on your fitness, we're the place for you. And we want to be able to reach veterans that potentially we haven't been able to reach in the past. The process is pretty simple. There's an online membership application that is completed, and that goes to our membership services. And then in order to apply for Operation Endurance, the free membership, the veteran just needs to provide a copy of their DD2 14 and then the VA disability compensation rating breakdown. So that is to say that there's not just veterans that have service-connected injury. There's veterans that have injury or disability that's not service-connected. We want to say that they're welcome at Lakeshore as well. They would just need to, they would fall under the traditional membership of Lakeshore rather than the free endurance membership. And so the last component of this is we have what is Lakeshore's contact information? Is good question. You can contact me at Lakeshore. So my email is cliffc@lakeshore.org, and I believe that's in the newsletter that Brian provided. And then we have a website, lakeshore.org. Lima Foxtrot program, these are veteran or military specific programs that we offer. The first one being the membership, the general Operation Endurance membership. We also offer a women's camp where we will only allow women who are veterans that have a disability come in and try out different sports and are introduced to different sports. And then there's Operation Rise and Conquer, which is an adapted sports camp where we introduce veterans to different adapted sports. This year, we're looking to go skiing, snow skiing, are thinking that will be a lot of fun. We've never done that before, and we're looking forward to that. But also some of the programs that we have, like we have an adapted golf program starting in April, only for veterans who are members of Lakeshore. And we're working with the Highlands Golf Park, and we will take our group out to there and play golf and learn the sport of golf. Perhaps if you've never played, having once acquired a disability. Are those free? Are those Lima Foxtrot programs are free or eligible service connected? Yes. So the Lima Foxtrot programs are free for both the service connected injuries as well as it's included with membership for those that don't have the service connected injury. but otherwise are eligible for Lakeshore Foundation membership. That's essentially my presentation. I just want to stress that we are eager to get more veterans into our doors that have disability and or a chronic health condition. The other thing I'll say is like the membership, the general membership starts at $55 a month. If you don't or if you're not eligible for the free membership, but we also have scholarship opportunities available, and we do not want there to be a financial barrier into Lakeshore. We want people to be active, we want people to be independent, and we will work with veterans to get them on that path to a more active and independent life. Can we send this info to our students? Absolutely. Please do. We want to get the information
I
out.
would like to include your slide presentation. I would like to include your slideshow presentation in the follow-on news release after this meeting, with your permission.
Absolutely.
So
please.
may I distribute the slides that you just showed us? Okay. And that may be what Sharon was asking. HTF, but thank you for your comments. Great programs at Lakeshore Foundation. And one question: is being well over the age of 60 a qualifying eligibility factor for free membership?
No.
Because if over 60 qualifies, then every member of the American Legion, VFW, DAV, and everybody else is going to be on your doorstep. And I know my question is absurd, but it was intended to be.
Yeah. They are eligible for membership, but not the free one. So let me clarify that one.
I knew you were going to say that.
Yeah.
Thank you, Cliff.
Thank you.
Good stuff. Good stuff. And for everybody, Cliff's contact information will be in the follow-on newsletter along with the PowerPoint. Next up, we're going to run over. I can tell you that right now. So I hope those of you on Zoom and here at Hoover Tactical can stay with us, because the great presentations aren't over yet. We have Kirsten Leahy-Walsh, who is been, oh golly, I can't tell you how valuable she is to CAVC, but she is a Hill Vet Fellow now in Washington. She's going to update us on NDAA, signed into law last December, and then some of the things on the table for perhaps future legislation. And then we're going to have a couple of comments. Alan Cook wants to make a plug, and I've got a plug for a different group. Kirsten.
All right. Got to stand up tall. Brian's so tall. I'm a little short one here. So.
No, wait a minute. No, you don't. We can just.
Oh, there we go. Oh, modern technology, right?
Hey, that's technology I can handle.
All right. Good morning, everybody. So just real quickly, I'm going to talk about something that's really important that a lot of people overlook, and that's veteran legislation. So having worked up in Washington, D.C. for the past several months, I work for the 4-Country Caucus. And hey, Tish, can you pin the speaker? Can you pin me as a speaker?
I've never done that before. I'm not sure what you mean.
Okay. Does it go to active speaker? Yeah, that's perfect.
Well, that's where we are.
Okay. Maybe I just can't see it because I'm.
Well, but it's not showing.
Yeah, if you come back.
It's not showing Kirsten is the.
It's probably because it's on, we're on this computer.
Okay.
Should be
Okay.
fine. Okay, so veteran legislation, oftentimes, it kind of gets shoved down in the press, but a lot of things happen in the past year that we're working on that are going to impact Alabama. So first of all, there's going to be a memorial built in Washington, D.C. called the GWAT Memorial, the Global War on Terror. Actually, next week, we're going to be rucking around the National Reserve, and we're going to be looking at potential locations. this is really important because, you know, there's war memorials for all these other campaigns. Honor flights bring these veterans up to see their memorials, but we really don't have anything for the global war on terror veterans. And there's a lot of them out there. And this would be one way to say thank you for their service. So that was one of our biggest wins, is we actually got the legislation passed in December and signed into law. That memorial is in the works, and that's fantastic. Another thing is we balanced out some of the National Guard and Reserve service member equal incentive and special duty pays. So that's really important because it helps balance out, you know, on the active duty side, you have all of these incentives and stuff, and not all of that always balances out on the National Guard and Reservist side. So on the national level, this was kind of balanced. And then from there, the states are going to be able to work through that. Also, there were several incentives for small business owners around AI in the military space. So obviously Alabama has a lot of impact in the AI and, you know, modern technology infrastructure for the Department of Defense. This is, you know, there's incentives out there that were approved. They haven't been actually put out to the public yet, but that's going to be coming soon. They have been approved and authorized. Additionally, there's also the basic needs allowance. So now if you serve in the military, you have your basic allowance for housing, you also have your basic allowance for subsistence, and now you also have your basic needs allowance. So if you have a family member or dependents, you actually get bumped up in pay a little bit. And that is another allowance that's completely tax-free. So we are still working on legislation supporting balancing out the pay. There are several Congress members who are currently working on the Service Member Enlisted Pay Increase Act. It's not formalized yet, hasn't been introduced in the House, but there are discussions going on to help increase the pay to $32,500 for an E1 coming into the military, which is a heck of a lot more than I got paid. And I'm sure it's a heck of a lot more than a lot of people got paid. So they're working on that and trying to determine, you know, how that's going to work. So if you're interested in legislation like this, what can you do? You can call your legislator. You know, in Tuscaloosa, we have Terry Sewell. You know, there's others out there that are very interested in hearing from you. Every congressperson, every representative has a district office that you can call and you can say, hey, I'm interested in seeing this legislation. What can you tell me about it? Your Congress people work for you. We need to remember that. Your Congress people work for you. Yes, yeah, and sometimes they don't. But we need to remember that they represent us. So if you have, you know, we call them veteran constituency cases. And one of the jobs that I've taken on in Congress is actually helping educate staffers on how to serve their veterans best, how to learn military language using programs like Psych Armor, looking, you know, partnering with organizations that, you know, offer the like Shore Foundation. So it's important that we remember that you guys can call your congressperson and say, hey, I want you to tell me more about balancing out the National Guard, you know, incentives and special duty pays. You know, because those Congress people, and your state delegation also does this as well, but they take this information and then it helps inform them on how they build legislation to create benefits for people. So, you know, I hope you guys have learned a little bit. You know, we're still, obviously, everything's still kind of crazy. Up in DC, we're currently working on building out the member interest letters. So coming up in April, all of our representatives are going to be releasing letters talking about what their priorities are. And a lot of those individuals, you'll be able to see where veterans fall on the spectrum there. And that's going to be really important. So hopefully I'll be able to come back and share a little bit more about that when we get those letters. So thank you guys. I know that was quick. You told me less than 5 minutes.
I know, I gave you 20. Thank you, Kirsten. Surely there's some questions.
Yeah,
Bob.
The enlisted pay, is that only for E1s? The pay increase affect all sorts of stuff?
That's a great question. And actually that's kind of where the stalling issue is. So, you know, using the $15 per hour statement, which is kind of what they're doing, that's very partisan. And unfortunately for the NDAA, we have to be bipartisan in order to get things through. So that's where organizations like my caucus comes in. We have 23 Congress who are all military veterans. We endorse stuff like this to help push it forward. But they're currently writing the bill. So the language is really the most important thing. And so we've had members say, take this part of the language out. This is what we want to see. The 32.5 is what has been introduced for E1. So ideally, it would kind of, it would impact everybody. As far as I've heard right now, enlisted is it. So they haven't talked about the impact this will have on the officer community. So I'm pretty sure we're going to have some riots. But right now, the 32.5, that's looking at like the baseline, and then they want to kind of scale everything up from there.
I'll just ask from here, it's important on the federal level, but don't lose sight of the state level as well, because one of the gubernatorial candidates has been in touch with me, want to know what state veterans issues are.
Yes.
So don't hesitate to call your state representatives as well and make your needs known, because they can move things along here at the state.
Absolutely, and that's really important. We have some veterans in our state delegation, Neil Rafferty. So people like him are very important. I know he does a lot for suicide prevention and impacting suicidality for veterans. State delegation is extremely important because that helps kind of bring the attention, and then that can potentially also help increase support on the national side too. So that's very important. Okay, thanks guys.
Thank you, Kirsten. I have known her long enough to know that she doesn't take no very well. And I would define her in 2 words as professionally assertive. She's diplomatic, but she is persistent. And that's a compliment. I applaud you for that. She has a vast amount of knowledge and a network that continues to boggle my mind. There was something else I was going to say, and at my age, Cliff, I really should qualify for that free membership. But I think you said cognitive dissonance isn't a qualifying factor. Alan Cook, you had something you wanted to add?
Yeah, just something really quick. A lot of times things go unnoticed, and I really want to kind of bring it to CAVC because I'm just kind of looking at the numbers today. First and foremost, I think it's paramount that those that are here really kind of spread the word about CAVC and the impacts it really does have. If you do have contacts, those that work with veterans, I strongly encourage everybody to kind of spread the word to get those people onto the monthly meeting, as well as being a part of this, is because again, it's a collaborative effort. We can't, I think a lot of times we look at it from perspective of your specific organization can help out veterans, but a lot of times there are specific groups that have a niche for certain things. And I think that the more people we have here, the more we can actually get those veterans the assistance that they really truly need. And it may not be something that your organization is really good at, but it could be something that we can put them in contact with somebody that does. And the caveat to that is because the Veterans Collaborative, Alabama Veteran has been able to partner with organizations throughout CAVC, with those in CAVC, whatever, to be able to help veterans throughout the state of Alabama. I really want to kind of give a shout out to Don Lehman with CAMA, the Crew Lock Marines Alliance. They have been huge supporters of ours over the years, and Don's group and them over there have really kind of come through with helping us with some projects that have come about with veterans in need. And we had a single female Marine veteran that kind of fell on some hard times and had some issues with health, and as well as her shower had been remodeled, and the contractor before did some really bad work on it, and it created some black mold within her bathroom. And It was really a kind of a bad situation for her, having some health issues already, to not only that, but have, you know, a bathroom that was remodeled start to fall apart with black mold. Don, you know, I reached out to Don and a couple other people within CAVC. They immediately stepped forward and really kind of, you know, started on this project, and their group facilitated the contractor to go out there and completely demo the bathroom and really kind of just overhaul it to provide her with a safe and new bathroom, and at no expense to the veteran. And of course, you know, CAMA really kind of came through with that. And that's the big thing I want to push today is that, you know, all of us have, you know, great efforts. We want to help veterans out, but I really feel that if we partner together, we can probably accomplish more if we're able to help out as many veterans as possible through this collaborative effort. So that's all I wanted to kind of pass and kind of give a little kudos and an attaboy to Don and the Krulak Marines over there for assisting that veteran this past month.
Thank you, Alan. And just to let you know, I had a lot of help on that too. So you're welcome.
Thank you both, Alan and Don. And it's my understanding through Ed Smith that perhaps CAMA is working on another one as of last night or this morning. At least that's the info I have. Give a plug for Letterman of the USA's Gala Friday night at the club. We got a good lineup. Kirsten mentioned Representative Neil Rafferty, who is not only a veteran in the State House, certainly been involved in CAVC almost since our beginning, I think, but we also have Senator Kenneth Paschal from Shelby County and Southern Jeffco, or parts of Southern Jefferson County. And they will both be in attendance Friday night and will present a commendation from the governor's office from both sides of the aisle to Letterman of the USA. I won't play that out anymore. If you're curious, show up and you'll find out. But it's going to be a great program. It is in support, it's a fundraiser, but it is in support of the efforts to bring Fisher House to Alabama, the first Fisher House. A great idea for those not familiar. It is the veteran community's version of Ronald McDonald House for families, out of town families who have a veteran in the hospital, VA or UAB most likely. But hope if you haven't registered, you will consider it. You can go on lotusa.org to register, or you can contact me and I'll play intermediary.
It's on the notes for the February meeting, the website down there.
Yeah. It is included in last month's newsletter. She's got 3 Marines she's going to be dining with Friday night. And I'll be floating around somewhere. But let's see, Bob, we had talked either next month or May fitting ADVA into the agenda. And I think it had to do with the new direct hotline, suicide hotline, plus other news from ADVA. Are y'all still online with that? Do you have any brief comments about ADVA activities?
I can give a real quick update.
Give us 2 minutes. And part of that update, whenever next month or May, would certainly be the challenge.
Well, thank you, Brian, for this opportunity to give an update on the Alabama Department of Veterans Affairs. Representative Rafferty was mentioned earlier. Back in 2019, Representative Rafferty sponsored a resolution that created the Alabama Task Force for Veteran Suicide. That initiative has transitioned into the Alabama's Challenge initiative for preventing suicide among service members, veterans, and their families. On February the 16th, we held our first Alabama's Challenge in Dothan, Alabama, under a pilot program. We're going to continue hosting these town halls statewide. We're meeting with the mayor of Mobile next week. Our plan is to host the next town hall in Southwest Alabama in Mobile. We'll also be taking the town halls across the rest of the state, Montgomery, Birmingham, Tuscaloosa, and Huntsville. And the purpose of this initiative is to bring public awareness of the national crisis of suicide among our service members and our veterans. In the state of Alabama, the veteran suicide rate is around 19%, which is the national rate. The challenge is focused on 3 key areas. Ask the question. If a person is in a crisis situation, ask if they've ever served in the military, so the state can get an indication of the situation of our veterans and our service members in Alabama who may be in a crisis situation. The second focus area is connectedness, encouraging our veterans to reach out for assistance if needed, if they're in a crisis situation. And the third focused area is lethal means safety. 83% of suicide among our veterans in Alabama is by firearm. It's not a Second Amendment issue, it's a safety issue. So those are the 3 focus areas of Alabama's challenge. We're also following up with town halls with the significant veterans event. We're taking a holistic approach to delivering resources to our veterans, taking these resources and services down to the community level. Last Thursday, we held a Veterans Resources and Job Fair in Dothan as a follow-up to the town hall. We had close to 200 veterans attend that event. We partnered with the Department of Labor. We had over 215 partners present for the resource fair. Out of the 200, about a third were serviced by the Veterans Benefits Administration, the Montgomery Regional Office in Montgomery, and also by our county veteran service officers in Southeast Alabama. We were able to serve approximately a little over 50 veterans in 4 hours by bringing those resources to the community and instead of those veterans having to come and find us. So we're going to take this initiative statewide. Next month, Commissioner Davis will give an update on the ADVA. We're moving forward with constructing the 5th Veterans Home and Enterprise. We're also expanding our Alabama State Memorial Cemetery at Spanish Fort. So there's a lot of good things happening within the Alabama Department of Veterans Affairs. So Ron, I want to thank you for giving me the opportunity to give this quick update. Thank you.
Thank you, Bob. My pleasure. And I would be remiss if I did not acknowledge CAMA, Krulak Marine Alliance of Alabama, Don Lehman and John O'Malley and their comrades in CAMA for the work CAMA has done on veteran suicide since its inception. Don, I don't know how long CAMA has been in existence, but I think suicide has been -- on your radar since your beginning. Am I right about that?
That's correct.
Well, you guys do a superb job. And you've heard from John O'Malley in the past about their efforts and their outreach through churches statewide and other organizations statewide. Kathleen Saucier, I'm still not real sure how to pronounce her name or Kirsten's, but I get through it. Wanted to make some comments. Kathleen, you have the floor, ma'am.
Yep, quick spiel. We had a veteran in need, at risk of homelessness, immediate homelessness, contact us this week, 2 days ago, actually, late Tuesday evening. Immediately, we put into action and contacted Brian, John Pinion. Thank you to both of you guys for getting us connected with resources. Sissy Louise, David Wynn, Lula from Priority Veteran, Jason from Still Serving Veterans. Everyone stepped up and we're getting this guy support, and I just want to really appreciate it. John spoke with him, I believe, just a little while ago before the call today, and he felt supported. And I think that's a big part of what this group does. And it was mentioned earlier about Alan, I think mentioned it, to let's encourage everyone we can to get on this, because this is what it's about, right? It's about tapping into those resources right away, getting them connected, because we're catching them before they're falling. And that's what we want to do. We know we're going to get the ones that have fallen, but we also know we can catch them, right? So kudos to this group. Every single person in this group has a place and a mission, and we all can work together. And thank you, Brian, for keeping us together.
And the difference we saw in his voice, I took the first call at 4 o'clock on Tuesday afternoon, just before appointment I had. And I told him I'd call him back at 6:30. And the change was phenomenal, because I actually called him back. He was not expecting that. So.
Well, and I would be remiss if I didn't emphasize Kathleen's tenacity. I nicknamed her yesterday the Energizer Bunny, because she is going wide open virtually 24/7. Because in addition to all of her nonprofit activities, and she has a slew of them, she's also a virtual mental health counselor. And I don't know how she juggles her schedule, but she gets an A+ in time management, that's for sure. So thank you. And yes, if we don't collaborate, if we don't network to marshal services together to deliver to the members of our military community, including families, then we don't exist. There's no purpose for us to exist, other than to disseminate information. And quite frankly, I'm not going to make this a full-time unpaid job just for that purpose. That purpose is valid, okay? But singularly, no, not for me. I've got grandkids I'd rather spend more time with. Any other input? We're a little over, that's okay with me. We're still hanging on with 23 online, and nobody has left HTF yet. I know everybody's time is valuable, but anyone else on Zoom have input of short order? Okay, thank you so much for your participation. Great presentations by everyone today. Dave, you're hidden by the faces of people on Zoom. I know you're there, but I can't see your face until you move to the right. But thank you so much. We will convene again on second Thursday in April. And y'all have a great weekend. It looks like a nice afternoon, so go enjoy it. Thank you. We're out.